She looked at my muddy work boots, smirked, then pointed at me across the dinner table. "Why is the gardener eating with the family?" Before anyone could answer, she waved at the butler. "Get him out." The room went silent. Everyone expected my son to defend me with anger. Instead, he smiled and asked her one calm question. Her face turned white before she could answer. Stay until the end because that one question changed every life in that room forever. My name is Harrison Cole. I am 61 years old and I have spent my entire life believing that character matters more than appearances. People who know me understand why I never wear expensive clothes when I work. Every Saturday morning, I still take care of the gardens around our family estate with my own hands. I planted many of those trees when my son was still a little boy. Watching them grow has always reminded me that success takes patience. That afternoon, I lost track of time. My boots were covered with mud. My jeans were stained with dirt. I washed my hands and face, but there was no time to change before dinner. My son Ryan had invited his girlfriend Victoria to meet the entire family for the first time. Everyone was already seated when I quietly took my place at the table. Victoria looked at me once and immediately looked away. I noticed the expression on her face but ignored it. The conversation continued until dinner was served. Then she leaned toward Ryan and spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Why is the gardener eating with the family?" Nobody answered. She laughed softly and looked directly at the butler. "Please remove him. Staff should not eat with the guests." Every fork stopped moving. The silence felt heavier than the marble walls around us. The butler stood frozen because he knew exactly who I was. Ryan slowly placed his glass on the table. I expected him to become angry. Instead, he calmly looked into Victoria's eyes. Then he asked only one question. "If you believe respect depends on someone's clothes, how would you treat people who can never afford expensive ones?" Victoria laughed nervously. "That is not what I meant." Ryan did not raise his voice. He continued. "My father taught me that every honest job deserves respect. He also taught me never to judge someone before learning their story." He turned toward me. "Dad, would you tell everyone what you are doing before dinner?" I smiled. I was planting 2 new oak trees for the children's garden. Victoria interrupted. "That still does not explain why the gardener is sitting here." Ryan looked at her one last time. "Because he is not the gardener. He owns everything you see. The estate, the company, the land, the businesses. And every employee working here chooses to stay because he treats them like family." Victoria's smile disappeared. She looked around, hoping someone would deny it. Nobody did. The butler quietly nodded. Even the house manager smiled. Ryan spoke again. "My father still works in the garden because he believes leadership begins with service. If you cannot respect a man with muddy boots, you will never respect a people who build a successful life through honest work." Victoria tried apologizing. She said she had misunderstood, but my son gently shook his head. "You did not misunderstand. You've revealed exactly who you are. Character appears when nobody thinks appearances matter." She quietly stood up, thanked everyone, and walked out of the dining room. No one stopped her. After the door closed, the room remained silent for a few seconds. Then the butler smiled at me. "Sir, dinner's getting cold." Everyone laughed. For the first time that evening, the tension disappeared. A few months later, Ryan met someone completely different. She greeted every employee by name. She thanked the gardeners for their work. She even spent an afternoon helping plant flowers beside the front entrance. That was the day. I knew my son had finally found it. Someone who understood the values our family had protected for generations. Money can buy beautiful clothes. It can build large houses. It can impress strangers. But it can never buy kindness, humility, or respect. The people who judge others by their appearance usually reveal more about themselves than the person they insult. Never underestimate someone wearing muddy boots. Sometimes they're the ones who built everything standing around you.